The organizers said just one more speaker. Let me ask the Hindu speaker to present his presentation. Then after that, we are waiting for the arrival of Sheikh Nahyan, and we'll continue after that our session.
Mannatha Shri Jagannatha Madguru Shri Jagadguru Madatma Sarvabhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, dignitaries and guests. I'm delighted to be at this program where peace has been once again accorded a high priority. This is a good beginning, a good sign. Peace begins here and now. So before we talk about peace, why not we take few moments and just greet the people who are sitting next to us, to your right, to your left. You can look at them, smile at them, greet them. Because it is said, if you have to discuss something higher, we have to be in a most informal atmosphere. Just feeling at home. How was it? Good? In an atmosphere of hatred, hostility and anger, people move out, groups disintegrate. Mistrust and doubt has often derailed many efforts and initiatives towards peace. Let me chant a prayer which is the beginning of Upanishad, the ancient Hindu scripture. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. The meaning is, let the divine protect us both. Let us be together. Let us develop our ability together. Let us be effulgent, brilliant. Let our brilliance shine through. Let us not hate each other. Such a powerful intention and prayer for peace not only takes care of the individual, irrespective of origin, nation, or language, but includes everyone. This prayer and wish not only includes everyone, it also asks for our abilities, brilliance, and knowledge to be strengthened together jointly. Shanti means peace. You would have noticed that it was repeated 3 times. Because there are 3 levels of peace which is mentioned in the scriptures. Firstly, peace in the physical level, environment which is calm, serene, nice and beautiful. Secondly, peace at the level of our thoughts and emotions, that is the intellectual and emotional level. And thirdly, the innermost peace, the peace in our soul. So we chant the peace prayer, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Nothing moves without individual peace. Don't we see that in our daily life? The ever-changing events, situations, people, and our very own mind is vulnerable and keeps straying away from that island of peace. World peace comes with individual peace. If individuals become peaceful, communities become peaceful. Then the leaders of the world will also become peaceful. And we can have world peace. When people have broad vision for the whole world peace is possibility. His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, the founder of the Art of Living, he often says, we need to spiritualize the politics, socialize the business, and secularize the religion. Limited wisdom and lack of education on human values are the main factors responsible for the society becoming a breeding ground for crime and violence. We need to introduce a sense of belongingness to nurture the character and the heart. It will be a Herculean task to achieve this. unless we put attention on nurturing the values of friendliness, compassion, non-aggression, and this should be nurtured right from the classroom. No individual can be violent to another with whom he or she has a true sense of belongingness. First video, please.
World peace is only possible with inner peace. One who finds inner peace will only create peace around. And one who has not found peace inside, he will only create disturbance all around. Unless we inculcate the art of inner peace, we cannot achieve world peace. The inner peace of individual is the basic element to build up a harmonious society, and unbroken families, prosperous nations, and a peaceful world.
Ask me, how do I get that peace that I want? How do I sustain the peace that I perhaps find sometimes only to lose it again? Where is that most wanted peace hidden? Usually we give very few simple practical steps based on the scriptures, but very, very practical, how to maintain that peace. Would you like to know that? Yes? You know, they are so simple that you may even have doubt. Is it so simple? Because everyone in this world is struggling to have peace of mind. But the steps to maintain peace of mind is very, very simple. The first simple step is smile. You know, to keep a smile on the face, only 4 muscles are required. But to keep a long, serious, angry face, 72 muscles are required. Now we have to be intelligent, whether to use just 4 muscles and keep a smile, or whether to use 72 muscles and have a long, serious face. So the first step to maintain our peace of mind is smile. And another step, I would say, is prayer and meditation. That should be part of our daily life. You know, it is said prayer is asking God what we want, and meditation is listening to God, listening to what He wants to tell us. So prayer and meditation should be part of our daily life. And third step is to reflect your life in the context of time and space. Because millions of years have passed before we came to this planet, and millions of years are yet to follow. What is my life? What is this all about? Who am I? What is the truth of this life? What is the essence of this life? Even for few seconds in a day, if you are able to contemplate on this, we will be able to maintain our peace of mind. And another step is service. I'm sure many of us are already doing this, to serve other people. That will help to maintain our peace of mind. And last but not the least, the faith. Faith in God, supreme power, divinity, within oneself. So peace comes first within each one of us, at home, and nation, and world. It is with this noble intention and prayer that I believe that His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankar launched the Art of Living Foundation in 1981. And 35 years later, today the Art of Living programs and projects serve in over 155 countries. You know, when you appreciate something, it becomes art. Similarly, when you begin to appreciate your own life, that peace within the life becomes an art. That is the art of living. Every program in the art of living is tailored to invoke and foster peace at the level of the individual through meditations, breathing techniques, and a spirit of social service. It is then that peace percolates to the world. And there is a short message from His Holiness Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. Video 2, please.
There is nothing called collective happiness. Happiness is individual. Individual happiness brings a collective happiness. Like society devoid of individual is impossible. Similarly, if peace is not in an individual, within one's mind, one's heart, it's impossible to have peace in society if families are not harmonious, not peaceful. Isn't it? When there is no peace in family, it's impossible to have peace in the society. And societies make the world. So the basic unit of world peace is individual peace. And that which brings peace to individual is wisdom. Devoid of wisdom, there is no peace in an individual. In spite of having all amenities, enough food to eat, with all equipments and comforts, entertainments, even entertainments doesn't really bring peace. It's the wisdom of broad vision and seeing life in context with the vast universe. That brings peace. And the funny thing, even if a small percentage of people on the planet is really peaceful and they become peacemakers, peace is as contagious as any contagious disease. Like cold, cough, and all contagious. Peace is viral, I tell you. Genuine peace from the heart that has come out of wisdom is contagious.
We are so fortunate that we have been able to find some peace with ourselves. Now we have a challenge to reach out to all those who are not at peace with themselves, as well as to the countries and parts of the world where there is conflict. We all have the responsibility of bringing peace to every nook and corner of the world. Unless every member of our global family is peaceful, our peace is incomplete. If you see, there are very few people who are extremists. Most people who are peace-loving are passive and silent. What is needed now is a dynamism of the peaceful people. Keeping this in mind, the Art of Living Foundation, we are organizing a World Culture Festival next month, March 11th, 12th, and 13th, where tens of thousands of people from 155 countries will be participating, and religious and spiritual faith leaders will also be participating. A short video 3. We need to make life a celebration on this planet and not a point of contention and conflict. Let us all resolve to infuse life and enthusiasm in our youngsters and restore back the identity of togetherness which the ancient seers of the past has given us. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which means the whole world is one family. May God bless you all. Thank you.